and welcome back to our e-commerce exchange series. As always, we're excited to get into trending topics and ways we're helping our brands grow. I'm Nicole Reich, Chief Growth Officer at Blue Whale, and still your host. I'm super excited to be joined by our Director of Lifecycle Marketing, Lisa Wendland, to discuss the importance of email and SMS for both marketplaces and D2C. Lisa, welcome.
Thanks, Nicole. I'm really excited to be here today.
Cool. So to start, can you give our listeners a quick breakdown of what lifecycle marketing is for both email and SMS and why it's especially important for brands?
Yeah, absolutely. So lifecycle marketing is focused on engaging with customers throughout their full journey. So increasing revenue for online stores by nurturing, converting, and retaining more customers. When contacts come to your site, they leave a data trail. So once they're signed up for email or SMS, you can strategically deliver personalized messaging. And as you know your customers better, your marketing efforts are more relevant and campaigns convert higher. So lifecycle marketing is really scalable. We have relevant messaging that can be deployed at the right time, helping your audience connect better with your brand. Retaining existing customers is less expensive, as we all know, than acquiring new ones. So ultimately, you end up saving time, money, and effort.
When thinking about brand campaigns, what are some of your top best practices and strategies that you're using today to grow brands?
Lifecycle marketing definitely helps provide a seamless cross-channel experience with personalized customer engagement strategies. So you can nurture prospects during their journey to make their first purchase on your site. You can turn those one-time buyers into repeat purchasers and convert returning customers into those loyal, long-time buyers we all want. So reactivating at-risk customers is a big part of that, and engaging customers that need to stock up before they run out of their favorite replenishable products, or engaging contacts at scale helps you really understand better how your products are resonating with your contacts and where you can provide more value as a brand. Brands really can expect to increase LTV, reduce customer churn, and overall provide a more personalized experience for customers.
Got it. So getting a bit more in the weeds here, what are some common issues we see with clients today when considering email and SMS, and how do we help them overcome them?
Yeah, great question. We definitely deal with so many different issues, but really we offer support for some brands that face pretty common issues. And our team is set up to offer support for high volume clients. So those are the brands that want to capitalize on multi-touch promotions, which require more hands on deck. So those brands benefit from our full service team with expertise, support, and experience. Full service for Lifecycle means support covering strategy, copy or content, design, coding and setup, reporting, and then the benefits of our partnerships with platforms. Sometimes we find brands that have outgrown their initial tools. So again, that's like another common problem. The platform might not be providing the right support for the data-driven messaging that they're trying to execute. One great example, we helped a skin and hair care brand migrate 14 flows within 3 weeks to see year-over-year increase of 15%. So that's something they weren't necessarily able to do on their own with the team that they had available.
So do you find that in these scenarios, the biggest issue on the brand side is experience and bandwidth, and then the way that they're leveraging your team is for both of those things? Or is there one related to strategy or the other that makes more sense where your team comes in to succeed?
That combination of experience and strategy really drives the option to move to a new platform, right? So with our team and with the combined experience and the expertise, we are able to say, okay, strategically, you want to move these flows. You don't want to move these flows because these are dead weight. And then we have brands who are experts at what they do. But when it comes to like the technical side of the email and SMS platforms, they're like, we just don't feel confident, and we want someone who's been through it a few times before to guide us or to just do the heavy lift. And that's where we come in. I'd say one more common issue would be going live with out of the box flows. So again, we have a lot of brands where they like crush it. They know decades of experience in their industry. And then when it comes to email and SMS, they're like, okay, I'm just going to turn these live because they've been told that, yep, you need to have cart and welcome and post-purchase and win back. But they don't get the extra level of support where you need to dive a little bit deeper and make sure that the content and the timing of the triggers is on par with your customer base, right? So we find lengthy delays between messages and super generic content like, hello friend, you left your cart behind, which just provides a poor experience for contacts and then negatively impacts conversion, right? So one great example, there's a fitness apparel brand I love working with. We were able to 5x their average month in flow revenue. Overall, we increased the revenue by 16% through the email channel, just customizing the content and the timing of their flows. So it really goes to show where we can lean into our strategic experience and dive in and say, okay, you know that with the seasons, you're going to need to change out your products and go through your flows and make sure that that lines up with what your customers' expectations are and where you can provide the most value.
Got it. So on this one specifically, when you mentioned the fitness apparel brand, where were you driving the traffic?
So this brand, they're actually serving their customers both through their .com and their Amazon store. And so when there are key moments, for example, seasonal changes, we just mentioned, and Prime Day, the bigger gifting holidays, we can send traffic to where they feel has the best experience for their contacts, right? So if that's the Amazon store because they have unique SKUs there, or the Prime Day events going on, that just lines up with email lists and segments that we have for them, or their .com if they're trying to promote a specific category and they have it all lined up on their D2C setup.
Okay, super interesting. So using SMS and email for Amazon is done a ton on the smaller e-com only brands, but now we're getting to see those more established brands use it as a best practice, or at a minimum a use case for testing. So how do you decide where to drive that traffic, whether it be marketplace or D2C or both?
We dug in a little bit deeper and we found that segmentation was really key here, right? So we can identify people that have clicked through our initial email where we tested out sending people to Amazon. Once we are running a campaign that's promotion focused, we typically suppress recent purchasers and then prevent what we call list fatigue, right? Where subscribers are just getting these batch and blast campaigns where the fact that they have purchased recently or have a preferred category, in this case, like they prefer to shop through Amazon, that sort of stuff gets totally ignored by some brands where, you know, when we're segmenting, we're able to reduce deliverability concerns, i.e. spam complaints, right? I think this is a good point to bring up, actually, is like no one likes to talk about it, but we often find deliverability issues in Gmail and Hotmail. Obviously, that's detrimental to a Lifecycle program. And we had a hair tool brand double its revenue within about 14 days of setting up their dedicated sending domain. So that's another sort of technical thing that our team can help with. And we had a strategic warm-up process. So with that solid foundation and good deliverability, we can deliver regular one-off campaigns and execute strategic programs for brands, building up their revenue exponentially.
I've personally always found that email and SMS comes down to execution, right? So you've mentioned some tweaks, but consistency seems to be the number one key here. We find that this is usually something that gets pushed to the back burner, but really should be made a top priority. One, because it's effective and it works at building that customer relationship, but ultimately driving more revenue. But on top of that, email and SMS is more of an organic approach, right? It's not like paid media where you have to spend and develop an ad budget. This is more just a resource allocation, especially when it comes to strategy and experience, right? Is that a good summary, Lisa?
Yeah, I would say so. I definitely find a lot of low-hanging fruit when we talk to brands, just looking at, you know, what's in their marketing mix and where, you know, they see issues, but they don't necessarily realize that email and SMS can come in and clear the way to build that one-on-one communication with customers and potential customers. So yeah, I like the way you summed it up.
Cool. So lastly, before we close out, we always want to tie it back to our PCE or performance commerce effect. How do email and SMS efforts tie back into the bow tie? No pun intended, Lisa.
Yeah, no worries. Lifecycle hits on 3 stages of the bow tie. So acquisition, growth, and LTV. So during acquisition, new prospects come to your site, right? Through strategic marketing efforts, social media marketing, and organic traffic. And lifecycle marketing really embraces that opportunity, right? To encourage opt-in of these visitors via their email addresses and phone numbers to nurture and convert them. And we really strive for at least a 5% list growth rate for our clients in their main list. We may have some smaller lists that are segmented based on where they land on the site, and I can get more into that on another episode. In the growth stage, we're monitoring the percent of revenue attributed by Lifecycle as a channel. And as a benchmark, any brand that's not reaching that 30% mark really has a solid opportunity for improvement. So in the LTV stage, email and SMS really increases lifetime value through multi-touch flows, which improves your customers' experiences at scale, right? So we expect to see 45% of customers be considered repeat customers. And that's our benchmark for those repurchasable e-com brands, right? And it certainly depends on industry, but I really like to strive for that. Just because there's so much value in continuing the relationship with our customers.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that, Lisa. So as Lisa alluded to, in each stage of our bow tie, we have key metrics we're monitoring against industry benchmarks. So through our performance commerce effect, it makes it really easy for us to understand where the opportunities are for each brand and then how to execute on those. So Lisa, thank you again for providing those insights.
Awesome. Thanks, Nicole, for the time. I love chatting on email and SMS anytime.
Great. So with that, we'll wrap it up. Again, thank you all for joining. Our next session will be on brand protection, and I'm excited to get into the details with our brand protection manager, Andy. Thanks, everyone.